Riverbanks Zoo and Garden, William Hovey Smith, 2013. I'm the author of Backyard Deer Hunting, Converting Deer to Dinner for Pennies Per Pound. Now, we go out and do some other stuff, too.
I'm Hovey Smith with Hovey's Outdoor Adventures, and we are at the Riverbanks Garden and Zoo at Columbia, South Carolina. Now, this is a location that is nearly right downtown. And this facility receives several million visitors a year and is really a world-class facility and is expanding. Now we're going to go in and take a look. I'm going to shoot a few still pictures and we'll show you what it's like.
I'm not going to say anything here because these creatures can speak quite eloquently for themselves, as you will very soon hear.
Well, you hear the carousel music going on in the background, people walking around, and I'm right in front of the ice cream shop, which is very popular. Even though this is February in South Carolina, running around in shirt sleeves, although this morning was pretty chilly and yesterday below freezing. But the zoo gets a good traffic all year round, and on a day like this, the families are out and the kids are out in the strollers, and everybody's having a fine time. A little bit away from the hustle and bustle of the carousel, you have the Riverbanks Botanical Garden, which is across the river. The Riverbanks Zoo is separated by a river from the Botanical Garden. And in the river are the remains of bridge piers which once supported a covered wooden bridge. Now this bridge was burned to prevent the advance of our least favorite visitor, one William Tecumseh Sherman. But the bridge piers still remain, and they exist and are now almost completely reclaimed by nature.
And here is what the bridge piers looked like with the woolen mill in the background on fire.
This long wall by the river was the river race where the water wheel was actually mounted, and the turning of the water wheel drove belts that powered the machinery inside the woolen mill that was just above it. You can see a right angle bend in the construction here, and again this was to direct the river and funnel water down to where it would be most useful. This was a prodigious amount of work. Now all the rock that was quarried that was used to build this mill was actually dug right here on site from native granite. So this rock was worked in place, and as you can see, some of it is rather roughly cut, but it got the job done. The burning of the three-storage mill and the subsequent fire in the 1880s after it was rebuilt actually left little behind, except you see the cut rock and the one arch over here. But guess what happens? In the southeast, things grow. And now, about 100 years later, we have a natural returning southern river flat forest. And the species here are pine, as well as gum and beech trees, and a whole variety of viney things like scuppernons and wild grapes, as well as a number of exotic species that have come in. Now these exotics get like privet hedge, get rather pestiferous from time to time, but we got them too. But the forest is coming back, and so you have now trees that are this big around. What?
This is a picture of the woolen mill as it existed in 1865. Now, about the only thing left is some stonework, including this arch. Now, things have been overrun. Now, this is exotic English ivy and nandina.
We've gone through the wild part of the gardens, and now we're up in the planted portions, and here we see early spring indeed. And we have some pansies in bloom, and a few brave tulips are starting to pop, as you can see. Now the roses haven't started yet, but they have many different varieties of roses here, but it'll actually be almost 2 months before the roses come on strong. Now the garden also has lawn spaces and built-up structures, and it has the individuality and diversity that every good garden needs to have. Cascades of fountains is something that's been employed in gardening since Roman times, and it's also a feature of this garden. Increasingly popular at modern zoos, the petting zoo draws the attention of parents and kids alike. And always there are the popular flamingos. And here we have a pintail coming in. He thinks his buddy over here has got something that he hadn't. And he's going to get him too.
Now, poor Pintail was just minding his own business and feeding, and then comes his larger brother at full speed ahead in attack mode, and he chases him across the pond.
Now, my hound dogs have been warning me for years that there have been dragons around the house, things and noises in the night that they just don't understand. Well, there's some real ones in there, and we're going to go take a look.
And here you have the kimono dragon. Now, these can grow to 12 feet, although this fellow's only about a yard long, and our much smaller but poisonous Gila monster, as well as diamondback rattlesnakes. These kids are really enjoying the saltwater aquarium here, and they particularly like the sharks. We're going to have a couple of them coming up right quick, but there are also freshwater exhibits, including the snapping turtles, and even our own little crocodile. So we'll show you a look at him in a little bit. Yeah, here come the sharks.
The Galapagos tortoise is always an interesting draw. And here he is grazing a little bit. Unlike most of the turtles now in approaching midday, they're about sound asleep. This was apparently a bit on the hungry side. The elephants are out enjoying some sun following a couple of cool days we had.
No, we already had it. You get one when we come, okay? You can have water next. No, we're going to have water next, okay? We already had it, already?
Yeah, the elephants have got a little much, and so they're going in and seek some shade for a while.
Hello, elephant. How are you? Where they going?
Yeah. Sunbathing time is over.
See them as they go in. Here he is.
Hello, elephant. Hello, elephant.
They're going in the barn.
Going to eat, I guess. Heading back. Going to get a shower.
Well, actually, get out of the sun for a little bit.
Yeah, sun's hot for them. It's getting warm. There they go. Yeah, woo. They make their chocolate.
And no trip to South Carolina would be complete without an alligator encounter. And they got a nice one out there. That one looks to be about 12 feet and to weigh probably 700 pounds. What?
Now, this is a crocodile that I mentioned earlier that's actually inside the aquarium.
The bear is just doing a little gentle play mauling. Those are both young grizzly bears, and just like young dogs, they sort of smock fight and paw at each other and gnaw a little bit, and not very serious bear fighting.
The zoo has many animals, including the Siberian tiger, Happy. Now, the lions didn't happen to be out, but they have a nice bronze lion here, as well as a stone-carved lioness. Now, animals from all over, like kangaroos, as well as this exotic Indonesian pig with 3 tusks, including one out the middle of his snout. Now, you can get around by this tram if you can't walk very well. These will take you to the main parts. Now, I'm the author of Backyard Deer Hunting, as well as Crossbow Hunting, Extreme Muzzleloading, and Practical Bow Fishing. But I enjoy looking at these animals, too. Now, if the Riverbanks Zoo has many, many species of animals and birds that I haven't shown. For detailed information, go to the zoo's website at www.riverbanks.org and check for special events. For more information about my blogs, books, and videos, go to my website at www.hoviesmith.com. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye and God bless.